Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome. My name is Sarah, and on this channel, the Hijabi Housewife, we are going deep into what does that mean? What does it mean to be a Hijabi housewife? What does it mean to be a homemaker? And how can we take that role back from something that has become in this modern society dirty and shameful into something that is liberating and expressive and ultimately a real deep way to connect to Allah? And how can we take that role and balance it and make it work for ourselves? And what does it entail? So I am a mother of 4 under the age of 5. Did you do the math? Yeah, it's intense. And let me tell you, I was never the kind of woman, this was not something that I aspired to be. A stay-at-home mother, and certainly not a housewife. Oh my God. My inner raging feminist is burning a bra somewhere. It was not something that I felt came natural to me. And so in taking this role and accepting this job, and that's exactly what it is, it's a job, it's a career. In accepting this, I struggled, and I still struggle, but I'm now at a place of acceptance and really seeing it as a means for true freedom and creativity and connection to Allah and spiritual growth. And with all of that said, there are moments where it's very difficult, and anybody else who is in this job knows that there are times where you want to quit. You want to quit. You will take all of the daycares. Thank you very much. You're ready for all of them. And you'll take the nearest job that will hire you because you need to get out of this damn house and find a purpose. There are those moments where you are on the verge of a breakdown and panic sets in and anxiety sets in, and it's scary, and the only option, it feels like I hate this, and my only option is to leave it. This is not for me. I'm not made for this. I can't. So when we get to that point, how can we bring ourselves back so that we don't have to make those decisions? Like, quitting doesn't have to be the only option, but we also don't want, we want to be realistic with ourselves, and we don't want to suffer. So what can we do instead? How can we, manage these challenges? And this video, the things that I'm going to talk about here are not prevention of breakdowns or prevention of, there are a whole other list of things and practices that we can put in place that will help keep us from getting to this point in the first place. But this is not that video. We're here now. We are here for this anxiety party, and thank you very much. We're here. So that's what this is when you're in it and you have passed the point of what feels like no return, what do? So these are my 7 tips to get you through an anxiety attack, a breakdown, to get you out of panic mode when you are ready to eat, pray, love your life away from here. So tip number 1, and I'm sure you're going to guess what it is. for all my sisters, my Muslim sisters here. Surprise, surprise. Dhikr. And I know that this is not news. You have heard everybody and their auntie tell you, read Quran and do dhikr. And I'm no different. Dhikr is crucial. It can change your life. And if you don't have a regular routine of dhikr, you don't know what I'm saying. Remembrance of God, and when you get into that space of panic and you're about to lose it, establishing dhikr will lighten your heart, and without nothing in your situation changing, it can feel like your whole situation has changed and that it's no longer heavy. It is a miracle. And I'm speaking from experience. I don't do daycare. I don't have babysitters. I don't have hired help. You know, we have a modest income. Alhamdulillah, we're a one-income family. So I'm not sending my laundry out to get done. We have one car. I mean, alhamdulillah. So hear me when I tell you that dhikr can change your life, and especially when you're doing salawat. I mean, we know that when we are sending prayers to the Prophet ﷺ, when we're doing the salawat regularly, or even just at all, he is sending, ﷺ is sending those same prayers and blessings back to us. And in our times of, I'm going to lose it all, that's what we need the most. We need those prayers, we need those blessings. And dhikr calls the angels to our home. We need that peaceful energy, that blessed energy, the celestial energy to come into our space. Not only that, I mean, that's enough, but dhikr also helps you to keep your mind on track. So when we get into a state of panic mode or anxiety, or we're about to really lose it, or we're losing our temper a lot, we can kind of our minds can kind of get into a negative thinking pattern, or our self-talk maybe isn't very healthy. Dhikr keeps your brain occupied, keeps the thoughts in your head. I mean, there aren't any thoughts, you're doing dhikr. And maybe the only thought in your head is, ya Allah, help me. Making your intentions that this dhikr is gonna lighten your heart, or bring help from who knows where. But it keeps the brain from getting into all of this, you know, negative self-talk that can really, really like spur you into crazy. So dhikr, really, we have to start there. And this, out of all the list of the things that I'm going to say, this is the have to. Like, this is the non-negotiable. We can't go in our times, in any time, but definitely in our times of deep struggle, we can't go around Allah. We can't, because He's the one that has the cure. He's the one who holds the answers. So when we engage in remembrance of Him and we come back to, oh, okay, Ya Rab, you know, we come back to that, and it really will lighten your heart, and the things that feel so heavy won't feel as heavy anymore, if you know what I'm saying. So grab this guy when you start to feel yourself, I mean, all the time, you know, have your tasbih on you all the time, but for those of us who struggle maybe with a regular routine, at least just keep it in your mind that as soon as you start to feel the tightness in your chest, grab your tasbih. For any non-Muslims who might be watching, you know, the Catholics, you guys have your rosary, the Buddhists and the Hindus, you guys have your mantras and your meditations and your spiritual practices, and this will all kind of lighten the load, lighten your heart, and get you on the track to hopefully coming out of, inshallah, any kind of major breakdown. So you're over here like, Sarah, did you not just hear me tell you that I have a house full of kids and it's loud and I'm freaking out and I'm in panic, and if I hear mommy one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Concentrate on the remembrance of Allah and do the, like, I can't hear anything and it's a zoo in here. What do you mean meditate? Tip number 2. Noise cancelling headphones. Noise cancelling headphones. Now, there's some of you that are like, this woman is nuts. This woman has lost her mind. And I have. And I am. So trust me when I tell you that this works. This helps. And for those of you who are like, you know, like I'm not there, put it on pause, you know, for the next couple minutes so that I can get through for the rest of us who need it. You can come back for tip 3. Noise cancelling headphones are important because when we are in a state of anxiety or overwhelm or panic, it's like our senses get heightened, and especially noise. And if you have anxiety, struggles with anxiety or PTSD, noise can actually be a trigger. And you know this. I don't have to tell you. You're like, yep, ordering mine right now. It just helps to take the edge off. And noise cancelling headphones don't actually cancel out all of the noise. So, you know, they're totally safe to wear at home with your children. You're still going to be able to hear them. You know, if there's anything dangerous going on or someone's hurt or there's fighting, yet again, you can hear it. It just takes the edge off so that you're not so charged, and so that, you know, the nervous system has a chance to kind of, you can peel yourself off the ceiling, so that you can bring it back to balance, bring it back to center. So, I mean, and if you're anything like me, so how I know that I'm really starting to, like, I'm coming close to some kind of a breakdown is that the sound, like the volume on life, just got cranked to max. The smallest sounds, like just putting the cutlery away, it's like so loud. It's like, damn, forks, like, can you chill with the noise? Can you just relax on the clanking? To things that, you know, you wouldn't even maybe hear regularly, much less a squeal or something breaks or something drops, and you get this electric pulse through your body, and you just, like, your brain goes to automatically like this anger because you just got the life scared out of you. The noise canceling headphones will help kind of filter that out so that you're not reacting in that way, and you have a chance to kind of bring it back down. So, noise canceling headphones, they don't have to be noise canceling headphones. Like, you don't have to go, they don't have to be expensive. You can go to any drugstore or Walmart and just get even just the foam, like the foam earplugs. And you'll see, like, for those of you who still are not convinced, like, this woman is nuts, just like plug your ears when you have earplugs in or something like that. You can hear your voice inside your head really deeply, and so when you're doing the dhikr that we just talked about, it really gives yourself a chance to get that deep inside your brain. It's like you're in some kind of a dark room all by yourself, reciting dhikr, with no one to bother you. It's wonderful. So give it a try. You know, the next time that you feel like your nerves are shot, try the headphones. Tip number 3, still in line with the like the sensory kind of stuff, essential oil. Have essential oil in your house on hand. Lavender, frankincense, ylang ylang. There's so many like really nice ones, but they really do help to calm the nervous system down. They're great for anxiety, depression, uplifting mood, and whether or not, you know, for maybe the sciencey people, well, it's not substantiated claim, or we're not going there right now. It's just really about distracting the brain, and smell and scent is a really good way to do that. So if you don't have essential oils, that's okay. It can just be a candle that you really like, or a smell that you have really good positive associations with. And smell is one of the most powerful like triggers for memory. So make sure it's a good smell with good memories. But it can really help distract the brain away from like spitting out and going like nuts like a freight train. So it also too, I mean, aside from just it's nice and the things that it can do for the brain and help the brain, it really encourages you to take like nice big deep breaths, which also, I mean, as we all know, helps to kind of calm and ground the body and calm the nervous system as well. So essential oil. Tip number 4. Get your kids outside. Put them outside. And notice I said put them outside, not take them outside. Not take them to the park, not go stomping around in the forest. Don't drive them all over the city trying to give them all of these beautiful experiences because you're doing a 7-day media fast. All of those things are wonderful, but not today. Not today when you are on the brink of a breakdown, where you're taking your children to the park and your child got into a fight with the other child that's there, and their mom's freaking out because your kid is... No, not today. You don't need the extra work today, the extra assault on your nerves. Put them outside in the backyard, let them have fun without your hawk eyes on them, and they will be okay. They will be fine. For those who maybe live in an apartment and you have a balcony, on a day where you're feeling all right, maybe you can DIY something safe and let them play on the balcony, or put yourself on the balcony. Put everybody in somewhere safe, put the baby down in the crib, take a step outside, or, you know, chill on the balcony for a little bit, maybe have a tea or a coffee or, you know, something, and just try to take a moment. But if you do have a backyard, or you have somewhere where you can like send the kids out. And listen, I know that it's winter. I mean, we're in Ottawa right now. I'm in Ottawa right now. And it's cold here in Canada. But that is not an excuse not to put your kids outside. I am a 3rd generation East Coast Canadian, and we didn't play with it's too cold. You are going outside. Build a fort, build a snowman, or run around, get your blood pumping. If you're cold, run. Warm yourself up, but you are not coming in this house. Oh, you're crying? Come back in an hour. And it was, you know, it's healthy. That was good for me. And so for my lovely immigrants maybe who are coming here like, ooh, my kids are going out in the winter, yeah, put them outside. The ministry standard here, or the ministry regulation for like daycares and schools, Are you ready? Sit down. Minus 32 is their cutoff point. Minus 32 is where they're like, okay, maybe just keep them in the house. But if it is minus 31, your butt is going outside. They'll be fine. Bundle them up, get them warm, have some, you know, hot milk or some oatmeal or something from when they come back in, or some soup. It'll be good. It'll give yourself some time, and it also is really healthy for them, you know, getting them outside in the fresh air to run around will help keep the energy inside the house down a little bit, so that they're not extra like psychopath mode, which is also not good for the nerves. So put your kids outside. Tip number 5. Let it go, Elsa. Let it go. Let it all go. Let the laundry go. Let the cleaning go. Make eggs for dinner and relax. Today is not the day to be organizing your life, to be watching all the YouTube videos about how so-and-so productivity expert gets 75 things done in 2 hours. Put it down. Shut it off, put it down, and play with your kids. Sometimes I think as mothers and homemakers, there's so much to do. There's so much to do, and especially if your kids are at home with you, sometimes, you know, our kids can feel like roadblocks to all the work that we have, and we are focused on getting a task done, but our children are off hurting each other, or climbing the walls, or coloring on the walls, or someone pooped, or it's a constant interruption to our goal or our goals, and that can create resentment and frustration towards the children, towards your husband. So sometimes we just have to put it down and just enjoy our kids, play on the floor with them, color with them, or none of the above. Hang out and watch your kids go savage jumping on the couch. Just let it go for today. And I don't really advocate, like, I'm not saying, you know, make this a habit where you don't take care of your things and you don't honor the blessing of a home that Allah has given you. It's really important, you know, to keep your house and your space clean and ready for ibadah. I mean, these things are important, and so I'm not saying do away with them. I'm just saying for today, when you have one foot in the car, ready to drive away and never return and pull a Simba, let it go. Let it go today. Tip number 6. Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah? Put something on for your children. Be that a movie, be that a Sharia compliant Islamic cartoon. I mean, whatever. Put something on for your children. And I totally get that there's this whole movement. There is a movement now that's kind of becoming more popular, of like no media for children, the American Pediatric Academy or Society, like the my brain. I told you guys I have 4 children, right? You know what I'm talking about. The people. The researchers and anyway, you know who I'm talking about. They suggest no TV time at all for kids under 2. And that's wonderful. But today, put a movie on for your kids. Put a movie on for your kids. It'll give you an hour, especially if you don't have the option of maybe calling a family member over, or you don't have a babysitter. Those things, or maybe your husband's working late or isn't quite as involved. put a movie on for them, and maybe you can sit down and enjoy it with them, or take some time for yourself, read some Quran, watch something that you like, call a friend, take a nap. And I mean, I am going to put a disclaimer with this one though. I do believe that children's behavior can be negatively affected by TV watching. So, for the moment, this is kind of a quick fix. This is kind of like sticking gum in the crack to like hold it together until you can go and find some like plaster and mud and fix it. This is not, I don't think, something to get into like a habit where you just zombie your kids out in front of the TV all the time. And you may find that after like TV, your kids' behavior might be a little bit more psychopath mode. And I know that in my case, and some of my friends who do have like a kind of media-free house, if and when their children do happen to watch TV, it's like amazing the difference. So this one, like tomorrow or the next day, you might be paying for it. But in the moment when you really need to just put some TV on. Or if you're finding that you're snapping at your kids a lot, you're losing your patience, at your kids a lot, or you're yelling, movies, I think, or some TV time is a better alternative than maybe the alternative of too much yelling and stuff like that, because that's we'll just leave it at that. Put something on for your kids. Take a breath. So the final tip number 7, the final tip that I have for you guys here today, it might be a little bit controversial, particularly within the Islamic community, but I'm going there. Somebody has to go there. If you are struggling and you find yourself acting and thinking and feeling in ways that are not you, or that are scary, do not be ashamed to contact your doctor and talk to your doctor if there is, if medication is an option for you, or if that, that's a decision that you can make with your doctor. And if you and your doctor come to the decision that medication is something, an avenue that maybe you should be taking, or that will maybe help you, don't be ashamed of it. And don't let anybody make you feel like you shouldn't be taking that option because you're a Muslim. Number one, let's go there. Medication is not a cure. I believe, and I'm not a professional, I'm not any kind of anything, but I don't believe that depression, anxiety, and those kinds of mental illnesses are the problem. I believe that they are symptoms to a larger problem. But those symptoms can be debilitating and they can ruin your life. And so if you, with your doctor, decide that medication is something that will help you manage the symptoms, so you can put in place practices, you can discover what the real problem is, and you can put in practice healthy habits that will help you and help you to find the solution, then take it. And I'm not here to say that everybody should be medicated. That's not it at all. Or that's the only way you can go. I mean, you can also go to a naturopath if you're really like, no, medication is not what I want to do. You go to a naturopath. They can also help you, and they can probably help you on a deeper level But not everyone has access to that, and not everyone has the resources to be able to afford it because it is quite expensive. But if it's something that you can do, I mean, definitely check it out. Don't try to, you don't have to manage this on your own. If you're suffering with postpartum depression, if you're suffering with PTSD or some kind of something a little bit more serious than just this is hard. So with that said, you know, I hope this helps you, and leave a comment, subscribe, and leave a comment, and let's build a community, and let's help each other. And if there's anything that I missed that you've found helpful in your experience, please let us know in the comment section below, inshallah. Okay, so until next time, assalamu alaikum.